Well, hello there, and welcome to another Dyrus vlog. Today is Friday, February 19, and today I'll be talking about multiple things regarding solo queue and how today is going to be my last day for break before I get back into it. So, starting with my elo, I've been stuck in Diamond 2 for both of my accounts. I was stuck in Diamond 5 the week before, but I'm kind of getting used to like how the queues are working, so I'm kind of adapting to how dynamic queue is and how ridiculous some things can be, so I'm learning to accept more things and learning to like cut out more things for myself. And a good example of that is just adapting and like realizing like what your teammates can do and what you can do to, help them and help yourself win. And I'll get into that. I'll get into like a little bit more examples in a bit. But so far, I've been taking a break to reduce my toxicity and increase my win rate slightly and my tolerance, because if I play consistently and I play constantly and I keep going at it, I'm just gonna be like, oh god, and I just can't control myself when I see stupid things, and when I do dumb things, it just blows my mind. And I'll go a little bit more into why dynamic is kind of meh right now too later on. So one of the things that I've been doing is, instead of doing top and middle, I'm doing top and jungle, because most people don't know what they're doing when they're jungling, and it really, really upsets me. And not all of them don't know what they're doing, but like the majority of the junglers I get stuck with, I get really, really upset at, because I hold them to a certain standard, and I realize that I may be being too hard on them for their elo, for what they're capable of. So instead, I'm just practicing jungle myself and criticizing myself instead of them, because I know what I need to do and I know what I can do to help win the game. But right now, Diamond 2 meta, or Diamond meta, or whatever meta it is for jungling, is people pick Shyvana, Master Yi, and then they fucking farm all game. And then Udyr and Xin Zhao are always banned, so there's that. The next thing I wanted to talk about, and the main thing of why I made this vlog, is to talk about the top three win percents for each role, and an honorable mention to each role. So starting with top lane, right now for number one, it's Rammus. And Rammus is kind of the champion where he kind of sucks early game, but when he gets to mid game, he's really good against the AD meta. And he just like, oh, before Rammus got like popular, because of LCK or whoever the fuck is playing Rammus, he was always annoying to play against once he got Sunfire Cape. For example, if you were playing Riven against Rammus and you let him get to Sunfire Cape, he just stomps the lane. And he's kind of like another Malphite or a Mumu, where they just stack armor and they just do a ton of damage. And the one thing you can play against Rammus is Trundle, so keep that in mind. The next thing for top lane is Pantheon, and I think Pantheon is kind of like a counter to Fiora in lane, and I feel like he should be able to snowball the game if you know what you're doing. And I still firmly believe that, because of it, Fiora shouldn't be as strong, and I think people in solo queue should pick up Pantheon against Fiora. And it's not always guaranteed, because solo queue games kind of last kind of long sometimes, but if you're really, really going to be active about winning the game, I suggest picking Pantheon and looking for kills on their mid laner, walk bottom, and you can even go Ignite if you want to, but I still suggest and prefer TP, because TP is just way too good for top lane still, even with all the nerfs. The last thing for top lane is Malphite. And Malphite's kind of that champion where he gets abused, but you can still ult people and set up CCs for your team. The one reason why Malphite has such a big win rate is because usually no one on your team wants to be the tanker engage. And I think if the Malphite player is halfway decent at engaging and ulting, then you can just win the game for your team by like having them wombo or following up on you. But at the same time, you can also lose the game for your team, so keep that in mind when you're playing Malphite. The one last champion for top lane that no one really plays, that I think is kind of like an honorable mention, is Karma. I feel like Karma in solo queue is kind of similar to the Jace and Lulu effect, where no one knows how to engage in team fights, and you just keep poking and shielding. She just has a lot of tools that are just good for your team when it's a stalemate. And most of the time, it's going to be a stalemate. And no matter how behind you are, Karma's always going to be useful. Like this one game I played against a Karma who built like Roa Spirit Visage, and I didn't realize she was tanky till it was too late. And she like healed for like 50% of her health because of her W. And that kind of cheese is somewhat possible, but the main reason why I think Karma has such a high win percentage is because she abuses everyone in lane, and her wave clear and poke is just really, really good. So besides the fact that she doesn't really have like a big ultimate, she's still really annoying to deal with and very good in poke comps, and just, you know, overall is a good solo queue champion. And that's why I usually play Jace, but I've been shying away from that. Next thing is for mid lane. It's Lux, Malzahar, and Ahri. So the reason why I'm breezing through this because I don't really know much about mid lane, but I can tell you one of the reasons why Lux and Ahri are up there. It's because one, they have CCs, and when you catch people with these CCs, you can either insta-gib them or do a ton of damage to them. It's kind of like the Morgana Blitzcrank effect, where you just kind of CC one target and they're out of the fight, and people get caught all of the time. Now, the reason why Malzahar is up there is because, like, anything in Plat Elo or below, it's probably going to work. Like, you could probably make Malzahar work in Diamond Elo, maybe even Masters, but the reason why Malzahar doesn't work is because he's super immobile, and I'm sure his ult gets, like, I don't know, he's just like a lane bully, it seems like. And it's also kind of the same effect where you just ult one target and you just try to one-shot them. So I guess that's why Malzahar's up there. And then the honorable mention for mid lane is Talon. And there are a shitload of Talon mains in like Diamond, Master, Challenger. I name like 3 of them, but Talons seem to like either win or lose a game for the team all the way up to Masters. They either feed and get like lose a game for the team, or they get super fed and then they're uncounterable. Same thing for Zed, but I really think Talon's a much easier Zed because a lot of people fail with Zed. So next role is jungle, and here's the more popular one where it's like Udyr, Shyvana, Amumu. One of the other champions that get banned a lot is Xin Zhao because he's OP for some reason. I don't know why. For Udyr, you'll notice that a lot of Udyr mains got to higher elo. I guess an example would be Trick. It's not only because Udyr is super good, but also because Trick is good at Udyr. And because he's meta in solo queue right now, like the players kind of get switched around where Udyr is not really like a I really don't know what the thing is around Udyr, but he just gets banned every game, actually. I actually don't understand it. I haven't seen an Udyr in any one of my games, maybe like 1% of my games, and I haven't really lost to one yet because they're always banned, so I don't know much about that. But what I do know is for Shyvana and Master Yi, they're both really farm-heavy junglers, and what people do is they farm so hard and expect their lanes to go even that they get so fucking strong because of Devourer, and they just try to like one-shot people, be super tanky, and just be super strong. For Shyvana, she'll be super tanky. For Yi, he'll just try to one-shot people. The one counter to Yi is just like pick Shyvana, like anti-assassin, pick Lulu. For Shyvana, it's kind of you just kite her. So the thing about Shyvana though is that she gets so strong that you can't really even kite her because she's super fast, and 2, she's too tanky. So I don't know what the deal is with that. It might be just because it's Diamond Elo, but it's really, really hard to play against. And the last thing, the third win rate for a jungle is Amumu. And the reason why Amumu is up there is because, once again, it's also the Malphite effect, where no one really wants to play tank and no one really wants to engage. The big reason why Amumu is up there and all those other junglers up there is because no one counter jungles. No one plans a jungle path to, like, you know, deal with the enemy jungler. One thing you can do in the jungle is when your laners are strong and you know your laners are going to win their lane is, instead of jungling towards your from your blue buff, your Gromp to red buff, is you can jungle from your Gromp to either their blue or they're red, depending on where they started. And generally, most people start on the bottom side of the map. So if you go straight for their blue and you're stronger, you can probably take, 3/4 of the jungle if they're weaker, and if you know your laners are stronger. So everyone does the same fucking jungle path almost. So I don't think it'll be that hard for you guys to do. It's something I don't do that I'm probably gonna start doing now because I just thought about it. And these are the kind of things I have to think about this to like, gain elo, because since I don't play a shit ton, I can't just stomp people with raw mechanics. I have to improvise and think of better ways to win and change up my champion pool. So that's something I've been working on since I haven't been really playing that much, because 6 to 8 hours a day is not really a lot to me, because I used to be a pro. I used to play like fucking 14 or more. I used to just like all I did was league. So now this is kind of more casual to me. So I have to, think of other ways to still get back to my old elo, because I know when I play against people that are in challenger now, they like go even with me and then they just like, do other stuff better. So that's something I have to figure out for myself. Now it's for bot lane. One of the most popular ADs right now has been Kog'Maw. I don't know why he's so fucking broken or why like he does so much damage, but when you build like Rage Blade, hot like I don't know what that item's called, Hurricane, he just like he just fucking melts everyone. So I don't know what the deal is that. And I don't know why Ashe is up there too. I assume it's like the Malphite Amumu effect where no one wants to engage and you just shoot an arrow and your team goes on them. It just seems like some of these top win percentages are like people that engage and that are like somewhat relevant to the meta in either laning or something else, and they just bring something to the team. Now, just because all of these champions are top win rate doesn't mean that you're gonna like automatically win with them, because the general idea is, oh, they're super high win rate, I should play them. The more champions played, the lower their win rate's gonna go usually, because people are gonna think they can carry themselves with them. That's why there's a lot of them in the middle that seem to do better than what you expect their win rate is. Some of the champions that you should be worried about for win rate is like the ones that are below 45%. Anything in the middle is like it doesn't really matter. It's really all player skill. Like there's no champion I can really tell you to carry you out of bronze if you actually suck dick at the game. So just keep that in mind and just go for self improvement. For the next two, or the is Graves for AD, because Graves is just a really strong champ in general. He got nerfed, but I think he's probably still fine. He just does a lot of damage. There's not really anything to his kit other than pure damage and like the smoke screen. And the last one is Corki. Corki is a champion that can be played top, mid, AD, and honestly probably could be played in the jungle if you really wanted to, because Corki is such a strong overall champion. He does so much damage that like he just, I don't know, he just doesn't seem weak in any area besides his range. And even then he has poke. So Corgi's probably one of the most solid champions in the game that not everyone always picks like an OP. And he's just kind of always there in the meta anyways. For support, the number one is Janna, and I agree with that a lot, because when I played Janna on Europe West Challenger last season, it was like super easy. Like my team was super good and I just did my job, and Janna just stops engages. Janna is just such a huge cock blocker that she's just really good. That's all you need to know. But sometimes you can't always carry the game because maybe your team fucks up. But here's the next two that can carry the game, and that's Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank's the one that always catches people out and chain CCs with Ashe, Lux, Ahri, fucking Amumu engage, Rammus engage, Pantheon engage, Malphite engage. Like Ashe, I mean not Ashe, Blitz is just one of those follow-up hooks where you just focus that one target, and that's why their win rate's so high. And also people get caught a lot. Now, the weird one up there is Taric, which is kind of weird for me. I think Taric is up there because people aren't as good as other supports, where they can just like point and click, and it's just a solid like thing to do. You cannot fail as Taric. It's like the Garen of top lane. You point and click or you just run at them and then you heal people and then you pray your team wins. So I think Tarek's up there because he's pretty strong, but not like OP. And like it would be better that you were Tarek than Thresh or Blitz if you miss all of your skill shots. Um, the last one that isn't top three up there is Soraka, and Soraka's just one of those champions where if you don't punish her, she just heals her team and you just can't do anything. Like just imagine a Soraka, Mundo, and Lulu and trying to kill that Mundo or Shyvana. It just doesn't work. So this is gonna be my last day off for now, and then I'm gonna get back into streaming. Um, so one of the reasons why I hate dynamic queue right now is I have a screenshot. I'll put it in the description below, but people they queue on their main account. Four of them queue on their main account, and one of them just gets like on a Diamond 5 account or something. And then the rest are like Masters or Challengers, and then they get stuck against like Diamond 3 or 1 players instead of like actual like Master or other Challenger players. And they only gain like 4 LP, but think about it this way. Think about an MMORPG, you gain like EXP slowly. You get like 4 to 7 points for playing that and winning every single time. When queue times are like fucking hours for like, top 10 players, like that 4 or 6 points guaranteed win is so big because like imagine someone getting to 2k elo. It's just impossible, right? It's literally impossible because the matchmaking just sets you up against the most impossible the teams. And what this does is it sets you up against either the easiest or even teams where you can lose like, I don't know, like 30 to 50 points, but only gain like 4 or 6 or 8. If it's guaranteed, honestly, it doesn't matter how much you lose because you can just grind that out. If you have like a group of friends, like a good example is let's say you're gold, right? You have 4 other gold friends. Imagine if one of your gold friends just made a new account, got on like a silver 5, and the rest of you are gold and you queued. You guys will get like fucking silver 1 players or something, or silver 3, and you'll be like gold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Like I don't fucking know. That's just it's stupid. It's really stupid. It doesn't apply as much to the old elos, but it's actually fucking like like queue times are one thing because you pick 2 roles and no one, like if you pick Phil it's lower, but it's just like the system just like makes me really sad right now because when I lose 10 games in a row and some games I know I shouldn't be losing, it's like sure I retired, sure I'm more washed up than like before, but I know that I'm not deserving to be a Diamond 2. I fucking know for a fact. Because when I play against people and I lose so much and I play against other Diamond players, I always win lane by like a certain amount. And sometimes I do lose and I fuck up. But when I play normally, I just completely fucking wreck my lane and then still lose. Because I don't translate it properly or I don't abuse the enemy laners that are like fucking 5-0 also. So that's why I've been getting really upset. It's been a really big roller coaster ride for me. And you'll notice that a lot of challenger players are like masters from last season. And like, I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I just really wanted to bring that up to you guys, just so you guys knew. Um, anyways, thanks for watching, and hope you guys have a good one. Bye.